Who were you hanging out with as a teen, and how did they shape who you became moving forward?
As a teen.
Not necessarily. I'm not asking for their names, but what type of people you were hanging around. And like, you know how they say, look at your circle and you'll see yourself in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
The people around you are you. So, you know, most kids in high school, you know, they got a certain, whether they're the academic type or the sports type. What was your circle like going out of high school?
My circle, they weren't the academic type. They were more the skipping school, come, let's skip school type.
Okay.
So my first year, I skipped a lot of school.
Freshman.
Yeah.
Okay.
After that, I hit the books. They wanted to hang out and everything. I told them after school.
So what did it for you? What made you stop or realize that they're wasting time and I need to get to these books?
My mom, honestly, my mom's been through so much that she had the chance to go to Harvard and Yale. And
really?
Yeah, she's extremely, extremely smart. Um, she never asked much from us. No cleaning, no nothing, just straight school. And I messed up so much that I was putting her through hell. Um, so I made the decision. I can't do that to my mother. She don't deserve that.
How old are you at this time?
15.
15, and you had the capacity to sit back and recognize that your mother is busted.
Surprisingly, yes.
Wow, that's dope, because you really don't see that too much, especially from a 15-year-old. They have no cares in the world, or even understand responsibility, or even care when they see somebody dealing with a responsibility. For you to even acknowledge that and say, let me get my shit together.
Well, there was a lot going on in my house. A lot. And my mom suffered a lot and went through a lot. Like, there was a point in time when I was younger than that we ended up homeless.
Okay.
Ended up on the news, and you know, my mom didn't eat for a long time just so that we have something to eat. So.
And you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
So at 15, you saying there's 5. That's a lot of mouths to feed. Not even.
Well, they weren't. A lot of them weren't born when the homelessness started. It was 4 of us.
But in general, your mother's. It's just her and your brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
That's a great responsibility in itself, for her to even tell you to, you know, focus on your school and I'll take care of it. Because usually a single parent, puts the kids to work. I'm not saying she didn't put you. Okay.
No.
So she let you guys be kids.
Because.
Just do your schoolwork.
Because my mom never had a childhood.
Okay.
My mom was.
She had different understanding.
Her mom used to abuse her a lot. To the point that she was being raped by her stepdad while her mom watched. She weren't allowed to eat cookies and do normal things that kids do. And she had to cook and clean. She got taken out of school to do those things. So because her childhood was taken away from her, with us she didn't do that. With us was, I want you to have a childhood and enjoy your childhood. I want you to enjoy life. All I ask is to do schooling.
What do you think made her have that way of thinking? Because statistically, I don't know this for a fact, but every time I come across this topic, it's usually the same: hurt people hurt people. So a mother who went through abuse usually treats their children horribly. Do you have any idea what made her, other than the fact that she didn't have a childhood, did she ever tell you, listen, this is why I'm doing this?
She didn't want to be like her mom. She didn't want her kids to feel what she felt while she was being raised. You know what I'm saying? Like, growing up and hearing hurtful things and being treated a certain way and being treated like a dog, because that's what she was treated as. She didn't want her kids to experience that. So she made it her business to make sure that her kids are going to be well taken care of and they're going to enjoy life.
It's tough. Strong, though. What was a dream as a child of what you wanted to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a veterinarian.
Okay.
I love animals.
Okay.
I don't know what happened, but...
Did you did you pursue it in any way? Did you go to school? Did you research anything or get applications? Or how far did your dreams go? It was just a thought?
Honestly, it was just a thought.
Okay.
From that went to pediatrician.
Okay.
Because I do love kids. but everything that it consisted of, like I'm very sensitive. So seeing a child hurt or having to do certain things with a child, I'll cry all the time. So that for me, it wasn't for me.
Okay. So was there anything other than that that you tried to, or you at least attempted to pursue?
Honestly,
You
no.
just having 9 to 5 jobs here and there.
I was young. I was a young parent. So my thing was just get the first job that came and I had to take
You
care
were
of
just
my
trying to bring
daughter.
food to the house.
Yeah.
You didn't have yeah, because you said 17. So when I'm asking you if you had any dreams growing up,
I know it's when I was younger.
yeah.
But
So your dreams are kind of maybe taken over by responsibility. You don't really get that much room to daydream and hope, and other than hope for the safety and comfort for your kids.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you change if you could about your childhood?
That's a tough question. There's a couple of things I would change. I think one of them, I don't regret my kids, but I would definitely change on all the stupid stuff that I was doing and what I thought was important at the time, and boys and things like that. I wish
Typical
I would have taken.
teenage stuff.
Yeah, I wish I would have taken school a lot more seriously, to be honest.
Okay. Would you have, well, veterinarian? Maybe you could have pursued that had
Yeah.
you not been running around.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
basically.
that's a constant. What's a constant worry you had growing up that you felt helpless in resolving? Did you ever resolve it, or come to letting it go as an adult?
As a child,
Yeah, like I always say, my go-to scenario is you see your mother struggling. You can't do nothing about it other than stress.
my worry was my mom. Um, she was in a domestic violence situation. So I didn't realize at the time she was in that situation because my mom always kept me outside. My responsibility was my sibling, and I didn't understand that. Um, but my worry was my mom. Honestly, her not finding out certain things. My stepdad one time, um, I came home from school one day, and my mom wasn't home. And I came in the house, and he was in my room. So I said hi to him or whatever. He asked me to come to the room. I asked him for what. He told me to sit on his lap.
How old are you at this time?
14, 13, something like that. And I asked him what was wrong. He said, no, I just want to talk to you. So he pulls out a magazine, and it was a Playboy magazine. So I was already feeling uncomfortable because when I sat on his lap, I was always taught you don't sit on a man's lap, first off.
Yeah.
And if it's your dad, at the end.
Yeah.
No, he pushed me to his front area. After he did that, he was showing me pictures, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, I feel uncomfortable.
Did you try to pull away at all?
I did. The problem is that I was very intimidated by him, by his look. At that time, he was on heroin.
Of course.
I always been big-chested, and he pointed to a picture and started talking about my chest area and started to touch me and things like that. Thank God my mom was putting the key through the door, and he heard that my mom was coming in. But he threatened me and told me not to say nothing or anything. For me, that was a worry because, number one, do I think my mom's going to believe me if I say something? Two, how can I say something if I'm already intimidated by this man? I don't want him to hurt me or anybody.
So you were feared that he would do something physical.
Yeah, I was a kid.
Yeah,
I was scared of him. On top of that, my mom did everything that he said. When I say everything, I mean everything. So in my mind was like, she's going to choose him over her kids.
Yeah.
Until I started getting older and I started noticing things here and there and stuff, I started telling, like, I was acting out, per se. Just my worry was just her, to be honest. I didn't want her to be with him, and she didn't look happy. She looked sad all the time. So for me, you being young, it was like, okay, how can I fix this? What can I do to fix it?
So how did this get resolved? If it got resolved?
We ended up taking a cab one day. My mom had called my boyfriend over, and she was crying. He was crying because he was very close to my mom, and she told me that we were leaving. And I was like, "Where are we going?" She said, "I don't know yet, but we're leaving."
With your stepfather?
No.
Okay.
He wasn't home at the time. I forgot exactly the specific details, but I just remember getting in a cab, saying my goodbyes to my boyfriend, getting in a cab, and just we left without nothing.
So you guys, she left for her own reasons. She never found out about him trying to
No,
his attempt on
she did not find that out until I became an adult.
Okay. So she had her own reasons.
Yeah, because of she finally told me that there were times he would put a knife to her and tell her, like fight with her or something like that, and that's when she used to tell me to go outside all the time. So here I am thinking she's sending me outside because she don't want to be with me.
And it's because she don't want you to see.
She didn't want me to see what he was doing to her. So when we got in that cab, all I did was cry, and I was angry at her. Like, why are we leaving? Why do I have to up and leave my friends and stuff like that? My boyfriend especially, because I really didn't have much friends. We ended up in Far Rockaway, Queens. A lot of people don't know that Wave Crest Gardens, in Far Rockaway, the first floors of all the buildings in the complex, those are actually domestic violence apartments.
So she went through some type of system to get that location.
Yes.
Okay, that's good though.
So they hid the address and everything, and we just left. We up and left.
How long did you guys last over there?
I don't know if it was maybe a year or two. I started going to Far Rockaway High School at that time.
Okay. What do you like best and least about yourself?
All right. The best thing I like about myself is that I'm very, very kind-hearted. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Okay.
I tend to care a lot. Sometimes a little too much.
You think that has to do with how you were raised and seeing the things that you saw growing up?
Maybe. I don't like to see people suffer.
Veterinarian and
I don't like to see people suffer or anything. I just love being there for people in any way that I can. So I do care a lot. I have a good heart. I'm very understanding. What I like least about myself is that I give too much benefit of the doubt on people, and I probably stick around a lot longer than what I should.
It's funny you say that. I saw an interview today. I forgot with who, but he said he spent the majority of his life always looking for the bad in people because he was always surrounded by bad people. Mm-hmm. But he forgot, or somebody told him, start looking for the good in those people, even the people, because you already know that they're bad. The bad is always going to come out. Mm-hmm. But if you're looking for the good, most likely you're going to deal with that person on a good basis because your interaction is good. Your first interaction, because you're looking for that. Mm-hmm. So it's a hard thing to do, to look for the good in people. So that's a great attribute.
I always do. And even if I see bad, I always say a person is bad for a reason. There's always a reaction because of an action.
Nobody was born bad.
No.
They've been through something.
Yes. So because I've been through so much in life, and I've had my moments where I snap at somebody non-intentional or anything like that, when somebody does something bad or comes out in a wrong way or something like that, I try to look at, okay, what kind of day did they have? Or what did they go through in life that made them this way? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I try to be there for people as much as I can. I just think that sometimes I don't get the hint, and I tend to stay there a lot longer than what I should.